If I'd only discovered these 9 powerful frugal habits earlier in my life, I could have unlocked financial freedom, and maybe even retired on nothing more than a regular, no-frills paycheck. It sounds dramatic, but hear me out. My grandfather, a man of quiet wisdom, managed to carve out a comfortable existence and forge his own version of early freedom, not through luck or high-stakes gambles, but through a set of humble daily choices. These habits may seem ordinary at first, but when practiced consistently, their impact is profound. Last weekend, after wrapping up a comforting Sunday lunch, my grandfather leaned back, cradling his coffee, and shared a truth that stopped me in my tracks. I never got rich. I just made sure I didn't waste. He chuckled, then added something that's been bouncing around my mind ever since. If I'd picked up these 9 habits sooner, I might have spent years enjoying retirement on the same old salary. This is no story of privileged windfalls. My grandpa worked 30 hard years as a phone company line technician. An honest union job. Steady but never glamorous. Raising 2 kids, wrestling with a mortgage that always seemed a little beyond reach. And with my grandmother picking up part-time shifts as a nurse's aide. They built a life focused on substance, not status. They valued neighborly connections, resourcefulness, and simplicity over flash or flamboyance. The habits he taught me might sound boring, maybe even outdated. There's no speculative crypto investing here, no lottery schemes, and absolutely no shortcuts. What stands out is their sheer repeatability. Think of them like a chef's careful prep work before the dinner rush. Not exciting, but absolutely essential for a smooth service. Let's dig into these 9 unconventional yet sensible habits. Plus, I'll share how I'm weaving them into my own financial plans. 1. Pay yourself first. Money that never enters your hands is money you won't be tempted to spend, my grandfather explained. Every single payday, without fail, he set aside a predetermined portion of his earnings, funneling it straight into savings and retirement, even before looking at any other expenses. Modern research backs up this approach. Behavioral economists like Richard Thaler have shown that automated savings consistently outperform relying on pure willpower. By programming yourself to save 10 to 20% automatically, you sidestep the endless, exhausting choice between spending and saving. Start with any amount that feels achievable, automate the process, and remember to boost your contributions whenever your income rises. Treat saving as the base cost of your lifestyle, not an optional afterthought. 2. Keep housing costs realistic. Here's where things might get a bit divisive. My grandfather never let his housing costs balloon just because his income did. A home is your shelter, not your status symbol, he'd say. He and Grandma began by renting a no-frills duplex close to reliable public transit. When they finally bought, they chose a modest house with a large yard and converted the basement into a legal rental, hosting grad students. That clever move nearly wiped out their mortgage payments for several years. This is a lesson I apply myself. Live near what you use most. Consider housemates. Or check out neighborhoods just beyond the trendiest hotspots. In business, high rent can murder your margins. In life, housing bloat can quietly smother your financial future. 3. Drive cars into the ground. If you're expecting shiny upgrades, brace yourself. My grandpa always bought used cars for cash and made each vehicle last as long as humanly possible. Sometimes until the upholstery had its own stories. He avoided leases, rolling car loans, or buying into new models for superficial features. His method was classic. Choose reliable used cars, stick to the maintenance schedule, and master basic care like tire changes and fluid checks. A simple envelope in the glove compartment held repair receipts and a logbook. Maybe not as alluring as a new car smell, but far more effective than coughing up 7% interest for fleeting luxury. 4. Embrace home cooking. This is where his old-school advice and my modern routines align. Grandpa claimed that once he and Grandma embraced batch cooking, money leaks virtually disappeared. Their Sundays were dedicated to meal prepping, shopping with a tight list, cooking multiple large dishes, and assembling lunches for the coming days. Leftovers weren't a disappointment. They were the plan itself. Preparing food at home is proven to improve nutrition and shrink grocery bills. In addition, it's a form of self-care. For an example, batch cooking a pot of lentils or roasting vegetables in advance can rescue countless weeknight dinners and steer you away from impulsive and expensive takeout. 5. Review finances weekly. What you track, you can control. This Peter Drucker quote was almost a mantra for my grandpa. Every Friday, he'd spend just 10 minutes reviewing his finances, checking balances, scanning for unexpected charges, allocating next week's cash. No digital spreadsheets, just a legal notepad. I do something similar with a simple phone note divided into 4 categories: housing, food, transportation, and everything else. If one category starts to swell, I make quick adjustments before trouble snowballs. Perfection isn't the goal, awareness is. If you confront your spending face-to-face once a week, you'll make more mindful choices the rest of the time. 6. Hide your raises from yourself. My grandfather issued this warning with almost prophetic urgency. Lifestyle inflation creeps in whenever your income grows. Every new dollar tempts you to create a new habit, he warned. His antidote? Automatic escalation. Each time his wages increased, he ramped up his retirement contributions before he even noticed the extra cash. It's all about sidestepping human psychology. Scientific studies call it hedonic adaptation, the way we quickly adjust to new comforts until they feel normal. If you make your raises invisible, your lifestyle remains steady, while your investments snowball quietly in the background. 7. Value quality over cheapness. Here's a point sure to fan the flames of debate. My grandpa drew a sharp line between being cheap and being frugal. Buying a flimsy $30 pan 3 different times isn't smart. It's wasteful. One trusty cast iron skillet, though, can last decades. His personal rule for big purchases? The 30-day pause. Write down what you want, walk away and check back later. Still want it? Research. Buy the best you can afford. Then, care for it diligently. In cooking, you notice the flavor of high-quality ingredients. In life, you appreciate the value of well-made things every time you use them. Buying quality turns an expense into a long-term asset. 8. Renegotiate your recurring bills. Once a year without fail, my grandpa did what he called a bill drill, reviewing every recurring bill.